Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here with it yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, and then push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. So happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. I am feeling very optimistic. I am feeling very, I won't say well rested because I still have not managed to get myself on a decent schedule. However, I still feel I'm just feeling good. Okay, I'm feeling good. My babies were here this weekend. Just to give you guys a little bit of update, my babies were here this weekend. Y'all know I haven't seen them in 3 weeks. I don't know if I forgot to tell you guys. Well, I didn't forget. Actually, I didn't know. But about a week ago, my their other parent basically reached out to me and said that a couple of the people in the household over there had actually tested positive for the virus. Now, my children didn't test positive at all. They all tested negative, and they have to get tested on a weekly basis because they're in school now. For those of you who have kids that go to actual in-person instruction, you know what I'm talking about. But they have to take, the test on a weekly basis. So they kept testing negative, but there were a couple of members of the household that did test positive or whatever. So even though they were supposed to come a week ago, we decided that it was best for them to kind of social distance for, not kind of, but to social distance for an additional week, which was really a bummer. So I didn't get to see my babies for 3 weeks, which, like I said, it really just sucks. I really miss my baby so much, which, by the way, if you guys have not subscribed to my other channel, definitely do that. I will leave the link for that down below in the description box, but the name of the channel is Live, Love, Elevate 2. I did post our very first family vlog, meaning all of my children were a part of it. You get to see them singing because all of my babies love singing. They're very joyous and playful. They're all, even my 15-year-old, I am admiring how much she is growing into a beautiful young woman, but she is still my baby at heart. She's still really, I just don't know how to explain it. She's not into unicorns and gumdrops and lollipops and all of that kind of stuff, so to speak, but she still will sit and have a moment, a session, and just really enjoy being a kid with her sisters. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. My other daughter that broke her ankle, she did get her regular cast on there, and from what I understand, it has to be on there for 4 weeks, but it has been healing really well. So I think the main concern, which I didn't know at the time, was they were trying to decide if they needed to break it, snap her ankle back into place, and thankfully they did not have to do that. So they just put a cast on it. She's not walking with crutches anymore. She has a cast on, she has a boot, and so she is walking, with a limp, of course. So I'm really happy about that. But that is all for my updates. I really want to say thank you to you guys for all of your prayers and all of your support and all of that. I really do appreciate it. But now let's jump into these updates, which, by the way, I have no idea what the updates are going to be today because I really took the time to enjoy the moments with my children, and yeah, let's just say I did not plan ahead. So I am checking to see if there is anything on the, what is this, on the internet side. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the Capitol, or wherever they are. So this article came out a couple of days ago. Even though I didn't plan ahead, y'all know that I'm always looking, I'm always searching. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. But some Democrats are not ready to give up on the child tax credit. For those of you who don't know, the child tax advance credit that they were giving out last year, they gave 6 months of those payments in monthly installments, okay? And they were trying to have that expanded for another year in the Build Back Better plan. However, we know that they're still negotiating that. We know that I think Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin are opposing it, and that is making it very difficult for them to pass that. So now they're working on trying to pass the bill in smaller portions just so that they can get the funding out there and start to work on Biden's agenda. Now, aside from that, it says a day after President Joe Biden appeared ready to concede, it may fall by the wayside. Some lawmakers said they are not giving up on the proposal included in the spending package stalled in Senate. Okay, one day after, well, we already said that. Let's go down further. I certainly am not ready to throw in the towel, said House Ways and Means Chair Richard Neal, which is the Democratic representative of Massachusetts. Senator Finance Chair Ron Wyden of Oregon, we're going to fight like hell for it. This is what he's saying. And I told you guys, some of the Democrats are going to fight for this bill, okay? Their comments came in the wake of a press conference previous Wednesday in which Biden said, the credit is one of the really big components that I feel strongly about that I'm not sure I can get in the package. So even the president is having some doubts. In a pair of subsequent television interviews, Brian Deese, a top economic aide to Biden, cited other priorities he said Democrats could rally around while conspicuously, omitting the child credit. The dispute comes as Democrats took a break from tense negotiations over the package to focus on voting rights. Their expansion of the credit was a centerpiece of the plan, with Democrats proudly citing studies showing the initiative had slashed childhood poverty. Now, I don't know how much childhood poverty they're trying to slash. I'm not exactly sure what numbers that they're looking at. I do believe that in some way, shape, or form, people people who were allowed to get those monthly installments, I do think that it helped them. You know what I mean? I will say that depending on their situation, it may or may not have made a significant change. And what I mean by that is, let's say that you are behind on your rent. Let's just say you're behind about 2 months for whatever reason you haven't filed or tried to get rental assistance, which I've been telling you guys is still available. You really want to look into rental assistance program in your area, because there was about million or billion dollars that was allocated specifically for rental aid. Okay, so for whatever the reason, let's just say that a person is behind maybe $2,000-$3,000 a month. They only have one child. Depending on that child's age, they're either going to get $250 or $300. So if they get that extra $300 a month, but they don't have any other source of income coming in, that $300 at best was probably allotted them the ability to put maybe $50, maybe $100 worth of groceries in their household, and then they probably had to pick and choose what bills they wanted to pay. You know what I mean? Maybe put $50 towards the light, maybe put $50 towards the gas bill, or whatever other utility services that they had, just to make sure that they were still above water. I know a lot of you guys are out there drowning and asking for help, and a lot of you guys are still waiting and hoping that they are going to pass another stimulus package, but I highly doubt that that is going to happen. Okay, even with everything that is going on, I'm slowly but surely seeing the articles coming out which are heavily contradicting themselves. On one hand, they're saying that there's a surge going on because of this new variant, the Omicron variant, and then I told you guys about the situation where the virus and the flu merged together and created what they call flu-rona or whatever. So there's that. But then on the other hand, I'm seeing articles where they're saying that certain areas, California, Los Angeles County, that the hospitalization numbers are starting to decline. So I'm not exactly sure how much of that is true. You know what I mean? They were just talking about how they were allowing healthcare workers to stay on the job, even testing positive to stay on the job, just because they were so short-handed. But then not 24 hours later, you're saying now that we're okay, we're out of the woods. And we've seen this constantly. We've seen this over and over and over again in the past 2 years since we've been going through this. It's like, I don't know. I think that the point that I'm trying to get at is I don't think that the child tax credit made much of a change to some people. For some it did, for some it did not. And at the same time, I still think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think that they're contradicting themselves, and that's really what politics is. It's just a bunch of idiots that are sitting up there spewing out theories and what they think should happen, and all of that is just a power grab. You guys know I'm going to tell it like it is. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not for anybody. I don't fall under any umbrella. I don't associate with Democrat, liberal, moderate, progressive, whatever it is. I don't fall under any of that, because none of that makes any sense to me, and none of that makes a difference. You know what I mean? If you're Democratic, doesn't mean that you're necessarily for the people. Joe Manchin is supposed to be a Democratic, but he's against the child tax credit for whatever the reason may be. So he's not really necessarily for the people. Moving on. Those provisions expired at the end of 2021. We know that with Democrats now anxious to renew them, I'm committed to getting the expansion done, no matter what it takes, said Senator Sherrod Brown, who was a Democratic representative of Ohio. Senator Joe Manchin has infuriated many of his colleagues with a series of objections to the beefed up credit. At the same time, the West Virginia Democrat has said he could support other parts of the reconciliation package, such as a I don't even know, FAUX, I don't know what that is, y'all. PHALANX of tax subsidies for renewable energy, which has some Democrats rethinking their priorities. Okay, it's a bunch of nonsense, and we're gonna move on from that because, like I said, it's just ridiculous. But let's jump into the other side and see what we've got going on over there. Here we go. Okay, so let's talk about what this virus is doing to our babies, okay? This article came out a couple of days ago. It says the kids are not all right. Data suggests 10% of the children with the virus become long haulers. And then it goes into a story about children and the symptoms that they are experiencing. Okay, 11-year-old Noah Simons feels like someone started a fire and then threw my hands into it. He has felt this way for 3 months, he says, and his feet feel like they are on fire too. Simon's been trying to go to school and stay active, but any extra effort results in fatigue and painful flare-ups. Meanwhile, over the past 5 months, 16-year-old Lane Perkins has experienced debilitating headaches, severe fatigue, and difficulty concentrating and retaining information. She lost her spot on the traveling softball team and dropped a chemistry class for the past 22 months. A 14-year-old Anastasia has had what they call, I can't say the word, but COVID toes, a painful blistering rash on her feet. Not long after the rash appeared, she began having heart palpitations, migraines, and cognitive issues. In the past 23 months, 16-year-old Kitty McFarland has battled intense fatigue and increased heart rate, tightness in her chest, the ability to be in an upright position, severe abdominal pain, headaches, and major cognitive and memory struggles. She couldn't talk properly and could barely get out of bed for the first 8 months of her ordeal, and had to crawl from her bedroom to the bathroom. The 4 kids from Colorado, Tennessee, Massachusetts, and the United Kingdom have a few things in common. Namely, they all have contracted a mild case of the virus weeks before the onset of their symptoms and have all now accepted a diagnosis of the long, and I'll put it on the screen, long COVID. Their situations are a testament to the virus's indiscriminate nature and a rebuke to the myth that the virus is always mild in children. So this is exactly what I was talking about just a few seconds ago when they're talking about things are getting better. I don't give a damn how much the hospitalizations are decreasing. That is great. I'm glad to see people go home. I'm glad to see people beat the virus and are actually able to return to their families. But the reality is like I said, we are still not out of the woods. There is still a lot of work that needs to be done. There's still a lot of testing, tracing. There's still a lot more, research that needs to be done. And as it pertains to these vaccines, one moment they're trying to give you vaccines, now they want to give you boosters. I saw another post that they're saying that they don't think that boosters are necessary, but that they want to continue giving you vaccines. The companies who are creating these vaccines can't even make up their mind. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering, because they're going back and forth, at least in my eyes, with the evidence and what they think it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to affect the body and the percentage in which it's supposed to keep you your immune strong and able to defend itself against from the virus. They're going back and forth with all of these little, well, not even little, but all of these these significant details as it pertains to everybody's health. And again, my mind has to wonder, where is that coming from? Of course, I automatically think of the fact that it's led by money. They're going to go for the option that's going to put more money in their pockets. You know what I mean? We see that in everyday lives. I know I see it. I have been prescribed a lot of medication over the years in my time, and I'm not an old woman, and I'm never going to sit here and try to act like I am a senior citizen, but I have been prescribed medications for myself that ended up making me feel a whole heck of a lot worse than actually helping me with the situation in which I went to the doctor for. Okay, so I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have situations like that. There are plenty of people that I talk to, not just me, and this is not me spewing out conspiracy theories. This is me giving you facts. This situation does actually happen to a lot of people. You go to the doctor for one thing and then you end up having another issue because of the medication that they are giving you. I'm not trying to end up like that. Okay, I'm not trying to end up needing dialysis and everything else, you know what I mean, behind the lack of sympathy, the lack of just basic human empathy that I feel politicians and everybody who are behind these medicine industries have. Let's move on from that, though. Like I said, there are plenty of people who have got these vaccines. They have had no issues happen to them. I'm not for or against it. I am very pro-choice. I just feel like everybody deserves to have their own mind and say, yeah, I want to get it, or no, I don't want to get it. No judgment. I'm not sitting here saying anybody is stupid for getting it or anybody is stupid for not getting it. I just feel like everybody deserves to have their own choice. Let me just make that clear, because it's always somebody in the comments that's trying to label me as a liberal, or, oh, I didn't know you were such a liberal person. Oh, I didn't know that you were a Democratic. When have I ever said that? I didn't know that you were against the vaccines. When have I ever said that? I never said that. I'm not against anything. I've had to give vaccines in my life before. We've all had to give vaccines at some point in our lives. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do it when I feel safe, when I feel that it's safe, when I feel that it's actually going to benefit me. And I feel like that should be my choice. It's the only thing I have said. Moving on, the fact of the matter is, like I said, when they're talking about all of these hospitalizations are decreasing and all of that, I'm glad, but our babies are suffering, okay? There's still a population of children age 5 and below that cannot get the vaccine because they have not created a vaccine for that demographic as of yet. So we still have children in various age ranges getting the vaccine, not getting the vaccine, and at the end of the day, they are suffering. Okay, this virus is taking a toll on our babies, and y'all know how I feel about my babies. So until they can get everything in line and make sure that our babies, our futures are safe, I'm not with it at all. I am not with it. Now, let's talk about good old Uncle Bernie Sanders. We ain't spoke about him in a minute, y'all. Let's talk about Uncle Bernie. So Uncle Bernie Sanders is mad as hell. That's what it says here before y'all say anything. Mad as hell at Kirsten Sinema, and Manchin's sabotage of Biden's agenda. Okay, speaking about President Joe Biden's stalled legislative agenda, Senator Bernie Sanders accused Democratic Senator Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin of using sabotage to block both Build Back Better and legislation that would shore up voting rights against Republican voter suppression. The GOP, meanwhile, he said, is laughing all the way to Election Day. And honestly, I agree. You got 50 Republicans. This is Bernie talking. This is Uncle Bernie talking, y'all. He said, you got 50 Republicans who don't want to do anything except criticize the president. Okay. Sanders said on CNN State of the Union, you have, sadly enough, 2 Democrats who choose to work with the Republicans rather than the president, and who have sabotaged the president's efforts to address the needs of working families in this country. Is it frustrating? It sure is. And that was literally verbatim what Sanders is saying. At another point in the interview, Sanders said the Democratic infighting gives an advantage to Republicans in the upcoming 2022 midterm elections, when the GOP is poised to potentially again control the House and Senate. Okay, what has bothered me very much is the Republicans are laughing all the way to Election Day. They have not had to cast one bloody vote, which shows us where they're at, and we have got to change that. Okay, this is Sanders. He is upset. By not bringing legislation to the floor, Sanders accused his party of letting the GOP get away with murder. Okay, and in actual reality, yeah, people are having a hard time financially, and that financial burden is creating a lot of emotional stress. You know what I'm saying? What does emotional stress lead to? It leads to suicides. Unfortunately, people don't want to talk about this, but when people are struggling, when people have looked at every corner, gone to the ends of the earth to try and find money, to try to find a way to keep themselves and their family afloat, they start to check out emotionally, and all sorts of bad things can happen. Okay, a weak mind is still a very powerful mind. Okay, and once you give up and let your mind just run rampant, who knows what's going to come next? All right, we have allowed the Republicans to get away with murder. They haven't had to vote on anything. He just keeps going on, and when all of that shakes out, we'll see where we are. Yeah, they're having a hard time up there. And I've been telling you guys, this is why I'm telling you guys, even though for those of you who have labeled yourselves as Democratic, who have labeled yourselves as a Republican, whatever it is that you are claiming to be, honey, just be mindful of the people that you are voting for when you go to vote on Elections Day. Because ultimately, whether you're Democratic or whether you're Republican, I'm going to say that you have suffered. There's plenty of you that have suffered on both sides of the fence, okay, financially due to the pandemic. So with that being said, I hope that you guys are paying attention to everything that is going on, paying attention to these people that are voting on your behalf and saying that they are doing this for the American people. Just be mindful of who you vote for. But we are going to move on to what I like to call the meat and potatoes. And I am going to do a quick check on emergency SNAP maximum benefits for the month of January. I have not checked, so I don't know if there are any states that have been approved, if there are any states that have been approved for February. A lot of you guys have been asking me if any states are going to be approved for February. It's going to happen sometime between this week and next week. But let me see here. So I am on the United States Department of Agriculture. Let me refresh one more time. All right, it doesn't look like anything new on here. I don't see any states right now for February. So okay, here we go. So for January, we have Alabama at February the 1st. Hold on, you guys. Alaska, January 3rd through the 31st. Arizona, we have regular issuance. Still nothing for California, you guys. Nothing for Arkansas either. Colorado, January the 9th through the 14th. Connecticut, January 19th, and all Fridays until all of the apps for January are completed. Delaware, January the 26th. DC, regular issuance. Georgia, January 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Hawaii, February the 1st. Illinois, January the 21st through the 29th, and then a catch-up during the first week of February. Indiana, January 5th through the 23rd, odd days only. Iowa, January 1st through the 10th. Kansas, February 15th through the 24th. Kentucky, January 2nd through the 19th. Louisiana, January 9th or the 8th. Maine, January 7th. Maryland, all month long. Massachusetts, February the 2nd. Michigan, January 22nd through the 31st. New Hampshire, January 1st and the 21st, and then February the 3rd and the 18th. New Jersey, January the 1st through the 5th. New Mexico, all month long. New York, January the 12th through the 21st. And I don't even see New York on here. North Carolina, where are you? North Carolina, there you are. January 22nd through the 31st. Ohio, January 24th or the 25th. Oklahoma, January 10th through the 15th. Oregon, January 10th, 28th, and then February 1st. Pennsylvania, January the 15th, and then the 19th through the 22nd, and then the 25th through the 29th, and then March the 4th. Rhode Island, January the 3rd. South Carolina, January the 1st through the 19th for currently approved households, and then all month long, first day after your case has been approved for new applications. Texas, January the 1st through the 7th. If not, please give it all the way up until January the 31st. Utah, January the 30th. Vermont, February the 11th. Virginia, January the 16th. Washington, January the 2nd through the 20th. West Virginia, January the 5th, and then a final run February the 9th. Wisconsin, January the 22nd, and then a final run March the 12th. Wyoming, January the 2nd through the 5th. Guam, January the 21st, and then the Virgin Islands, January the 22nd. Now, jumping into pandemic EBT. For this current school year, I am going to check and see if there have been any additional states that has been approved. Right now, I think it's the same 8. We have Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, Virginia, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. We're going to start off with Indiana. They are going to pay out on a quarterly basis. Ohio, December in January, January in February, and then after that, they're going to continue on a monthly basis. Michigan, March 2022, and then monthly. Minnesota, I have February, June, July, or August. Monthly, basically. Okay. New Mexico, end of January in 2 payments. Virginia, monthly. Wisconsin, monthly. And then North Carolina, end of January, and or possibly payments will go out at the beginning of February. That is absolutely all for emergency SNAP maximum benefits, as well as pandemic EBT for this current school year, you guys. That is absolutely all that I have for you guys in today's video. I hope this information was in some way helpful or useful to you guys. You know I absolutely love providing this content to you, but do me a favor if you haven't already. Definitely don't forget to smash that like button, because it really does help to let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing and y'all want me to stick around, all right? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my other channel. It is Live, Love, Elevate 2. Again, the link will be down below in the description box. Come on over there, you guys. We are having fun. You get to see me and my babies. You get to see me beat this face and all the other great things that I have in store for that channel. My baby is waking up and he he kind of kicks and fights his way out of his sleep. So he was starting to cry. You okay? You okay? Okay, he shook his head. Okay. All right, you guys. On that note, I'm going to say, remember to live, love, and elevate. And I will definitely see you guys in my next video. Peace, y'all.